Hey all, Sky here. So, it's finally my birthday. Let's go. I really hate this computer so much. But anyway, not so long ago, I uploaded my birthday clap, which feature um God, I lost my train of which featured the entries of Alex, Hector, Thomas, and LPS.
Hello, Danny.
Hey,
Again, congrats on your birthday, man.
thanks.
Oh, he's over there. Oh. Oh no. I recall watching this.
Holy crap, I remember this.
Yo, I recall I saw it in your stream. I wasn't there present, that's why I remember it, but I remember seeing you fellas watching it.
So do either of you want to tell me why you kidnapped me?
Please remain calm, sir.
You can't keep Suction Cup Man trapped. I'll Suction Cup my way out eventually.
Are you Suction Cup Man?
Baby, fuck you. Who wants to know?
I'm the President of the United States.
Yeah, fuck you.
You've done a lot of bad with your suction cups, Mr. Man.
Tell me about it.
But I think there is something for us.
You think that I'm capable of good? Just last week, some ass rank almost died jumping out of the window trying to fight me off his tower.
I understand that you may believe your suction cups can only bring destruction and sadness,
What? God, no, it's hilarious.
but it may be in your best interest to cooperate.
I'm listening, but still, fuck you.
These images were taken in North Korea. We have reason to believe they are building their most powerful missile yet. It's huge, and signs seem to point towards a strike against the U.S. very soon.
Do you honestly think that North Korea is stupid enough to attack the U.S.?
Yeah.
Oh,
We've located a hatch outside the missile that allows easy access to the warhead, where it can be disarmed. And this is where you come in, Mr. Cup. The hatch is pretty high up on the missile, and frankly, that would take a really expensive ladder.
so what's in it for me?
We will grant you one free suction cup climb on anything you wish.
Are you sure that you're prepared to give me that kind of power?
We've heard rumors, Mr. Suction. Can you die?
You can't kill Suction Cup Man.
Then I believe we have a deal.
Fuck yeah, let's start World War III. Aye, what the fuck are you doing? Climbing your missile with suction cups, dumbass. What do you think? Why my missile? Why not your missile? You're delaying my plans from America. I'll delay your plans all I want. Look at me go. Don't you dare.
Look at me go.
No, fuck you. Fuck you.
Fuck you right back, you fucking dumpling!
Do you have any idea who you're talking to? I am the leader of this country. I am these people's god. I will have your head on a stick if you don't.
Hey, I wrote you a song.
Hey, I want you a song.
What?
It goes along something like this.
Oh god.
You're a bitch. Oh, you're a bitch, a bitch, a bitch, a bitch, a bitch.
Get the fuck off my missile this instant!
I can't.
Why the hell not?
Can't
have
have
you
you
starting
starting war,
wars,
dumbass.
Kinda starting one right now, and it's pissing me off.
Probably doesn't hope that I was hired by the American government.
Ah, you American dog!
Oh, that got you real angry, didn't it?
God damn it!
Yep, I sure pissed him off now.
And it does it! No more stalling! I'm launching the missile!
Uh-oh. Oh, shit, fuck, 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 fuck. Oh, shit.
You may have delayed my plans this time, man with a suction cup, but you won't be around next time. Oh, fuck!
Oh, you're a bitch. You're a bitch. You're a bitch. Bitch.
Bitch.
North Korea, you're pretty horrible.
I don't know.
How's it
Don't
going,
listen,
Mr. No Bones?
Jesus Christ, what the fuck is your problem?
I haven't seen you since last fall.
Nurse! Nurse!
Presidential pardon, bitch. You can't do shit. Look at me go.
Look at me go.
The man is coming. Hey, sucking powers have no bounds.
I forgot how funny that show was.
It's pretty hot. You must admit.
Oh, yes, yes, yes. Oh, fuck.
You climbed your missile in just an hour. You can't kill me. Wait too cool. He's stopping North Korea, fool.
Pymations, yeah!
Oh, I'm climbing up your tower.
Hey.
You kick his
Fucking my
ass.
ass.
I'm climbing up your tower, and I'm smudging up
I'm
your
smudging up your
glass.
glass.
Hey,
Don't take another suction cup, man.
top of the tower to you, business dummy.
This is the last time you're gonna suction cup my tower, fuckhead.
Holy shit, is that a water gun? My God, man, you're insane.
There's more to it.
Let me guess, you filled it with piss.
Wait, you just told me this!
It's filled with a new product I whipped up so I can put an end to this shit show forever. Bam! Anti-suction cup window
Almost
cleaner.
eco-friendly.
What does your company do?
We make cleaning products.
That's lame.
I'll show you what's lame.
Dumbass.
Dumbass.
Whoa, shit.
Ha! Fuck you.
Fuck you, I'll be back.
I'll be ready for you. You're
You're
headed towards the highway.
Fuck the highway. You can't kill
You can't
suction
get
cup,
suction cup, man. Look at me go.
Dead boy.
He was just like, fuck, I ain't dealing with that shit.
Oh my god, yes!
Greetings, sinful one.
Where am I?
Greetings, sinful one. Welcome to your eternal damnation.
Oh, Lord.
For your many misdeeds, you will suffer everlasting pain throughout 1,000 lives.
Oh, God.
We shall begin with 100 years in the pit of fire.
Oh, Jesus!
Okay, can you stop with all the God talk? We don't do that here.
Oh, well, excuse me, Beardo. It's not like I want to be here.
Enough! Bow before me, heathen, and face your
Hey,
punishment.
what's that?
That is the gateway from which the sinful arrive. You died and came through that thing. Hi, welcome to hell. Enjoy your punishment.
What happens if I go back through it?
Ha! No one can return to the world of the living.
Not even if I go back through it?
Well, you can't do that.
Why not?
You're not supposed to.
The fuck is that supposed to mean?
You have no choice in this matter. You will face your punishments accordingly to pay for your... What are you doing?
Abort,
Fuck you, I'm leaving.
But you're not supposed...
Fuck your shit and fuck hell. I'm Suction Cup Man.
You can't just leave. You died.
Death can suck my ass. You can't kill me.
But you died.
But I'll get out.
Still died.
Well, at least I don't look like a giant ketchup bottle.
How dare you speak to me in this manner? I am the Prince of Darkness, the harbinger of all that is evil. You're in my realm. You will bow to me or face the consequences.
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
Fuck
too.
you.
Fuck you three.
I
you
said it
too.
first, so you're the most
I
fucked.
said a bear, so you're the most fun.
B1, Satan 0.
Well, you're stuck in
Satan
the
zero.
so let's call it even between us.
Cool, I'm as evil as Satan. Can we team up?
Wait, no.
Fine, then I'm leaving.
Also, no.
Then we're teaming up. Hey, I wrote us a friendship song.
Get off my wall!
It goes a little something like this.
Little something like this.
Oh, hey,
And just blows up the guitar.
go eat on deck. That's right. Go
That's
eat
right.
it.
We
Go
in
eat
it.
it.
We in it.
Go eat
Go
it.
eat
Big
a
old
big old
dick.
dick. Go eat it.
You eat it, dick, you.
I tried to warn him that he was drifting towards the highway, but he passed it off saying something like, "Fuck the highway, you can't kill Suction Cup Man."
And also, look at me go at the end there.
Right. He also said, "Look at me go."
Shit! Officer, arrest this man for attempted murder.
We know who you are, and we're not doing that.
Fair enough. Same time next week, business dummy.
Go to hell.
Trust me, I'm way ahead of you. You dick.
Pymations!
Don't be a
Yeah, Yates. Skip the ad. We don't do the ads. Oh, bijna
This week on BuzzFeed Unsolved, we discussed the highly controversial drowning of Natalie Wood. Get your sunglasses ready because this one is packed full of bright stars. Wow, he had them ready. He didn't even know I was going to say that.
Had them good to go. I'm
I'd-
always ready, baby.
I'd like to say that this story isn't going to be chock full of
Like,
terrible
what the hell
Christopher
did I
Walken
just-
impressions, but I can't say that. I'd be
Watch
lying.
out.
Boys.
2 mice. Wow.
Bro.
All right, let's get into it.
On November
Whoa.
29th, 1981, at about 7:30 a.m., Natalie Wood's body was found floating face down in the Pacific Ocean around 200 yards off Catalina Island's Blue Cavern Point. She was wearing only a flannel nightgown, blue wool socks, and a red down jacket. Before we get into the details of the scene, let's establish what led up to that point. Natalie Wood was one of the biggest stars in Hollywood up until her untimely death, with roles that include the classic Christmas film Miracle on 34th Street, which she starred in only at age 11, Rebel Without a Cause in her teenage years, West Side Story, and Gypsy.
Gypsy.
Gypsy
Yeah,
Dipsy.
Famous gypsy.
Admittedly, I was like, oh, Miracle on 34th Street, cool. Rebel Without a Cause, great. West Side Story,
classic.
and of course,
Gypsy.
Eerily, from her early childhood, Wood's mother was said to have filled her with a fear of dark water, as a fortune teller had once prophesied that she would die of drowning.
Jesus Christ. Did her mother bring her to a fortune teller?
I imagine it was like one of those like fortune tellers you see at like a carnival. And like, oh, would it be funny if you tell my fortune with little playing cards?
Oh, maybe she'll tell you you're gonna marry a rich man.
It
And
was
she,
like-
she would.
You're gonna drown one day.
Water's gonna fill your lungs.
And I was like,
girl.
all right, we've had enough of this. Thank
Let's
you.
go get funnel cakes.
In a chilling incident from when Wood was 10 years old and filming The Green Promise, a bridge rigged to collapse threw her into the water, despite her mother assuring her it would be safe. Wood broke her wrist and left the incident even more terrified of the water than when she began. As a child, she had such a phobia of water, it is said she was afraid to wash her hair and had recurring nightmares about drowning.
This is brutal.
It came true, so she was actually warranted in all these fears.
This would be like if you were eaten by a shark.
Or a bear.
Oh, I'm sorry. This would be like if you were eaten by a
I
bear.
thought for a second we were talking about things that are actually scary.
I made the mistake of thinking of the most apex predator, and I forgot that you're afraid of one of the lesser predators. So yes,
No, I'm gonna let this slide because I know you're just trying to get a rise out of me, and you truly do believe that the bear is the most dominant
I truly
animal.
believe that.
Yeah, it's the most dominant all-terrain animal in the world. There's
Yeah,
no,
sure
it's a
is.
killing machine.
Yeah, pop that thing in the ocean, see
Yeah.
how it does.
On Wood's 18th birthday, she went on a date with actor Robert Wagner, later star of television series Heart to Heart, who was 26 at the time. They married in 1957, but divorced just a few years after. Wood married and divorced another man later in her life, only to marry Robert Wagner once again in 1972. Wood herself had said that she believed her feelings of torment were rooted in a feeling that she did not truly know herself, as people had told her what to do her whole life, including her mother.
Jesus.
Yeah, she seems a lot more tortured than I originally anticipated.
Wagner must. I mean, does that man have a magical penis or something?
Bro.
They got divorced and then she.
You think the only reason someone would go back to someone is because they have a magical penis?
I mean, I feel like divorce is probably a lot of work.
Do you not know how love works?
Maybe I don't.
That makes a lot of sense, actually.
Pushing forward to more recent
Don't mind
history
if
of
I
the
invite
incident,
Seth.
it was the weekend just after Thanksgiving of 1981. Wood had been working on the science fiction film Brainstorm with Christopher Walken at the time, and he was invited to join her and Wagner on their yacht named the Splendor that weekend. According to the captain of the boat, Dennis Davern, who had worked with the couple for years and considered himself a family friend, Wood had become infatuated with Walken during filming, and Wagner had even flown out to where they were filming to make sure he wasn't going to, quote, make a fool of himself over this, end quote.
This
I
is.
still wonder what he meant by
This is
making a
rough.
fool of himself.
To be fair, can you
I
blame her?
don't s-
I'm
see why
actually a little
making a
curious
fool of
about that.
himself.
I have a hard time
I just don't know.
imagining someone going gaga over Walken.
You go gaga over Walken.
I go gaga. You know, he's probably magnetic. I bet when you get in a room with him, he commands the space.
Yeah, no one's like, oh, Chris Walken's here. Everyone's like, you see who just fucking walked in? Chris Walken.
What a Walken.
Boys, the
Boys.
party's here.
I brought
no.
some cocktail weenies.
Though, Wagner was not the only one with a jealous streak, as around the same time, reports say Wood was suffering from jealousy over Wagner's on-screen romance with his heart-to-heart co-star Stephanie Powers. The group left on the yacht around noon on Friday, November 27th. about 2 days before Wood would be found dead. Everyone on the boat, including the ship's captain Davern, had been drinking for much of the weekend. On that Friday night, Wagner and Wood argued, to the point that Davern was concerned and asked Walken to get involved. Walken is known to have refused to intervene, saying, quote, "Never get involved in an argument between a man and a wife," end quote. Davern ended up taking Wood ashore that night in the yacht's 13-foot inflatable dinghy named the Prince Valiant, and they slept at the Pavilion Lodge Hotel in Avalon. The first time Davern was questioned about this night, he lied, saying that all 4 of them had stayed on the yacht. The police, however, already had evidence that they had not been on the boat the first night, so Davern was prompted to tell the truth. He went on to say that he and Wood spent the night in the same room, but they just drank wine and went to sleep. Davern also claims that in their relationship, he felt very protective of her, and she was very comfortable with him.
He seems like a good influence here, maybe.
You could spin it that way, you could spin it the other way. You could see both sides of the coin here.
I mean, if he's
Whatever the
removing
hell
her
he's
from a
going on about.
volatile situation.
Yeah, but the intentions behind that perhaps weren't the most valiant.
The next morning, on Saturday, November 28th, they returned to the Splendor, where Wood apparently decided to stay for the remainder of the weekend based upon Walken's expressed desire to stay. Walken and Wood went ashore that afternoon to begin drinking at Doug's Harbor Reef, where they were later joined by Wagner and Davern. The party's waitress recalls that at dinner, they consumed 2 bottles of wine, 2 bottles of champagne, and one of the men was also drinking daiquiris.
Jesus.
Holy shit.
The 80s are great.
Yeah, this is going to town. I'd like to
Yeah.
imagine it was Walken, but
Just
Oh.
throwing back the daiquiris.
he seems like a daiquiri guy. I don't know.
5 daiquiris.
She also recalls that Wood did not eat much of her dinner, and that she did not seem to be in a good mood, and when she left the
Oh.
restaurant, appeared to be stumbling. In one moment, Wood was said to have thrown a glass down onto the floor, though Walken later explained the incident, saying that it was his fault, because he threw his glass on the floor after making a toast, and Wood had just followed suit.
So fucking Walken is essentially Thor.
Yeah.
I like this drink. Another.
Davern has said Walken and Wood seemed very flirty
Plus-
throughout the dinner. They boarded the dinghy The Valiant to return to their yacht for the night at about 10 p.m. As they were boarding, a witness from the Harbor Patrol office said they heard Wood scream about something, which he assumed was just because she was drunk. Witnesses sleeping aboard a nearby boat, John Payne and his girlfriend Marilyn Wayne, reported hearing shouts at around midnight. However, there was a party going on somewhere nearby, so he figured it was from that and did not respond. Payne claimed to hear a woman yelling, quote, "Help me, someone please help me," end quote, coming from the near stern of the Splendor and potentially from someone in a dinghy. He also believed to hear a man who sounded very drunk respond, quote, "Okay, honey, we'll get you," end quote. But his tone was so mocking, he claims this is why he believed the cries were associated with the party.
Mocking tone. When you say mocking tone, you mean like,
Okay, honey, we'll go get you.
we'll help you. Like intimidating, scary, spooky.
Well, you went a little darker with it. Maybe that's what he said. Or maybe he was just joking around like, oh, go get you. Or maybe this didn't happen at all. Maybe this guy didn't hear what he thought he heard.
Does he just like park next to them? Is it like binoculars, like a creep?
A Star Watcher.
Oh, what's going on?
Natalie
there?
Wood's up on that boat.
Oh, she's screaming. Better,
Oh, shit.
better take a note about that.
Reports say there was a nonviolent argument aboard the yacht soon before Wood disappeared. Wagner has said that he and Walken did have a political debate that he began at dinner, that they continued while aboard the yacht. He describes the event saying, quote, "There was no fight, no anger, just a lot of words thrown around like you hear in most political discussions. Natalie sat there not saying much of anything and looking bored. She left us after about a half hour, and we sat there talking for almost another hour. Then I went to kiss her goodnight and found her missing," end quote.
What do you want to
Okay,
do?
that's
Are you
that is
just
a
holding the
bit
pen saying something?
strange.
He didn't notice she was missing till he went to go kiss her goodnight.
Yes,
So that doesn't really line up with the whole screaming woman.
it doesn't. That's what I'm
Aspect.
saying. You kind of don't really know who to believe here.
Okay.
Okay.
At 1:30 a.m. that night, Wagner and Sea Captain Davern made a distress call to the Coast Guard, saying that Natalie Wood had disappeared from the couple's yacht, the Splendor. And about 6 hours later, taking us back to the start, the body of Wood was found floating about a mile away from the yacht. The Prince Valiant, the inflatable dinghy, which he had presumably left the boat on, was found washed up on the rocks just a little further south. The ignition was off, the gear shift was set to neutral, and the oars were locked. which implies she may have never started the vessel. The coroner reported that she had drunk 7 or 8 glasses of wine before the incident. Her blood alcohol level was at least 0.14, and the police ultimately ruled her death as accidental. She also had superficial bruises on her arms and lower legs, as well as a cut on her cheek, though at the time, these were all attributed to what might have naturally occurred as she fell in the water.
She was a little drunk. I don't know how many. I'm not a big wine guy, so I don't know if.
Well, you know what blood alcohol is? 0.14.
0.14 is pretty high.
That's
0.08 is.
the
Yeah, I don't know
you're
what to
drunk,
say,
you should be driving.
actually. Shouldn't be
0.14 is
Oh,
usually like that.
Okay, well, this is gonna be tricky. I'm interested to hear the theories because it does sound like it could be a case of accidental drowning.
With that, let's get into the theories. The first theory is that Natalie accidentally fell into the water and drowned. The conclusion drawn by the chief medical examiner in the LA County Coroner's Office, Thomas Noguchi, was that Wood had fallen into the water while trying to board the Valiant. Noguchi hypothesized that her down jacket had likely become heavy and soaked, but she never thought to remove it due to her inebriated state. Fingernail scratches found on the side of the Valiant show she tried to climb back aboard the dinghy. Eventually, she likely finally drowned due to hypothermia and exhaustion. Ultimately, it's likely she clung to its side as it drifted away from the Splendor. However, Wood's sister, Lana Wood, had this to say on the notion. Quote, "My sister was not a swimmer and did not know how to swim, and she would never go to another boat or to shore dressed in a nightgown and socks." End quote.
I guess if she's spent her whole life being afraid of water and she can't swim,
Probably put on a life vest.
well,
or
why
something.
would she even attempt to
Or
do
even
this?
attempt in her nightgown, no less. In
Yeah.
her nightgown, no less.
That's why it's strange. I guess when I'm drunk, I
I've done
attempt to-
some stupid things.
I guess I would attempt to do things that I'm scared of, but going back to my fear of bears, I would never go, hey, let me go pet this bear.
No, I wouldn't. One of my greatest fears, I think I've said this before, is that someone will trick me into doing heroin.
Which is the dumbest fear I've ever heard in my life.
It
I
would
can't
be
even
against my will.
How many situations could even put you up to that potential danger?
I don't know. All it takes
How many
is
parties are you going to with heroin? involved?
none. But
It
someone
seems like a
could-
lot.
It's not the fear that I'm at a party. It's the fear that someone would come up to me on the street and put heroin in me, and then I'm hooked forever.
What the fuck?
Speaking of the nightgown and socks, Robert Wagner also said in a 1986 biography, quote, "It was only after I was told that she was dressed in a
Jesus.
green gown, heavy socks, and a parka that it dawned on me what had really occurred. Natalie obviously had trouble with that dinghy slamming up against the
flip.
boat. It happened many, many times before, and I had always gone out and pulled the ropes tighter to keep the dinghy flush against the yacht. She probably skated on one of the steps after untying the ropes. The steps are thick as ice because of the algae and seaweed that's always clinging to them. After slipping on the steps, she hit her head against the boat. I only hope she was unconscious when she hit the water." End quote.
Maybe she did just slip. Wagner sounds like he's putting
Why-
forth a pretty solid theory.
Anytime someone has a very hyper detailed account of what happened, that makes them
Here's what
free to
must
go.
have happened.
Here's what must have
These
happened.
40 things in succession.
Exactly.
However, some have criticized this theory, as the Valiant was a rubber dinghy, which according to Noguchi would make very little noise when they bump a yacht. Additionally, Noguchi reported forensic evidence, including the untouched algae on the swim step. It appeared that Wood may have been attempting to board the dinghy rather than adjust the rope. Police investigators also found broken glass in the Splendor's main salon, which Wagner attributed to the rough seas, a possible factor in why Wood may have fallen into the water. However, it's here that the testimony of Captain Davern differs. He claimed that Wagner grabbed and smashed a wine bottle after going into a jealous rage over Wood and Walken's interactions. He claims Wagner exclaimed, quote, "Jesus Christ, what are you trying to do? Fuck my wife?" End quote.
So you could see where the two accounts of what happened are drastically different.
I just don't understand what the captain would have. Why would he make this up?
True, unless he was, here's another turn, unless he was in love with Wood and jealous of Wagner. See what you can spin anything you want, how you want it.
Damn it, Ryan.
What do you think Christopher Walken said when he said that?
No,
Oh, Bobby.
Bobby. Two mice.
Strangely, despite blaming the rough seas at first, Wagner admitted to having broken the wine bottle that night in the salon in his autobiography in 2009.
Yeah, weird.
So,
It's
things
weird that
not
his
lining
memory
up.
got clearer
Yeah.
almost 30 years later.
Uh-huh.
And with that, let's get into the next theory, that there was foul play involving Robert Wagner. Before we move forward, it's worth noting that Davern is an unreliable witness for a variety of factors, including that it took years for him to come forward with what he says is the truth. Additionally, he seemed to release bits of information to the tabloids in the years following the incident in a relatively unsavory way. That being said, on the whole, many factors of his story ring more consistent with testimony of other witnesses and other evidence. In fact, Walken's description of what happened when they returned to the boat is also closer to Davern's than Wagner's. Walken claims an argument broke out between Wood and Wagner over Wood's time spent away from family, to which Walken defended Wood at first, but then stepped outside rather than get further involved. When he returned, the two had made amends. Davern also describes events this way, but instead of Wood and Wagner making up, he states he also heard the two continue to argue from where he was on the bridge of the boat, and even claims he heard the dinghy being untied. He claims there was then silence until Wagner returned at about 11:30 p.m., looking, quote, tousled and sweating profusely, as if he had been in a terrible fight, an ordeal of some kind, end quote. Davern also says that Wagner discouraged him from turning on the floodlights or starting up the engine in any attempt to search for her, saying that
Wait,
Wagner
Thomas,
said
can
he
you pause
didn't
real
want
quick?
to alert the people.
Sorry, what was that? Danny? What did you say? Hello?
Okay, so I'm gonna have to stop the stream here. See you guys in the next video. Bye.
Goodbye.